Multiplying two digits by a one-digit number. When you are multiplying two digits by one digit, one thing that is important is that you realize that you have different values of each digit. So each digit of the two-digit number should be broken up into expanded form to show the value and then multiplied by that single digit. Here's an example of what all that means. If I have 53 times 3, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down 53 by the place value. I have 3 ones and I have 5 tens. So I'm going to break that into 5 tens, which is 50, plus 3 in parentheses times 3. I am then going to multiply 50 times 3, that's my tens times my ones, and then my 3 times 3. That's my ones times my ones. And so this is how you should be doing it. This is really called the distributive property. This is how multiplication works. So you take what you have here, 53, and I'm going to draw it in the place value chart for you today. So I have 5 tens, and I have 3 ones, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to multiply both of those by 3. Since multiplication is just repeated addition, it's adding a number over and over again, that is what I'm going to show, the multiplication of it. So 3 times 3 means I have to add 3 times. So here's 2 groups of 3 being added, and here's 3 groups of 3. So altogether, I have 9 ones. Here's my 5. I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to add it 3 times. So I have 1 group already. Here's 2 groups. Here's 3 groups. So now what I can do is count this all together. When I do that, I can see that I have 15. I counted by 5. 5, 10, 15. The law of regrouping and renaming still applies when you're multiplying. So that means I have to gather together 10 of my tens and trade them for 100. So I'm going to circle 10, and I am going to trade these 10 so I no longer have them for 100. When I do that, I am left with 5 tens here and 100 here. Now the standard algorithm calls for you to do the same thing in kind of a shorthand way. So here's 3 times 3, which is 9, and then 50 times 3, which is 150. And if you look at my place value chart, it all matches. So really, if I can take a minute to kind of write this a little bit smaller so you can see, really what I've done is I've multiplied 53 times 3, and then I've multiplied 50 times 3, and so really you write it under here, and then all together you get 159. I'm adding 9 plus 150. The 9 is what I got from multiplying 3 times 3. So 53 times 3 is 159. And you can see that clearly here in the place value chart, how it all works. And so this is multiplying a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number, and we were able to prove our work by showing this picture here. So when you are going to show your work, you're going to do the same thing.